That'd be great, babe. And you can come in. Wow,
Yeah,
you're living large, aren't you?
always. Remember, I'm a
Hi,
soul.
Julia. Hi, Juliana.
Hi, Juliana.
Hey, Bless.
Hi, Blessed.
Hey, everyone. Thank you. Great. Wonderful.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi,
So
Brandon.
your video,
Yay.
yeah, that's really
Videos.
good.
Hey,
Reminding me
Diana.
of my own experience as well. That I had one of them.
Yeah. We- I was like, oh my God. Oh, you know what? It's like you're a natural at doing videos. So please do continue doing your videos. Like,
Yeah, that was great, man.
yeah, you
Yeah,
you tell stories really well. Um,
it was actually a fascinating experience you had.
I
Really,
don't want to. I don't want to get
was
into
great.
it too quickly because
Hey,
I want
Diana.
everyone to come through so they can hear your story.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're definitely gonna chop it up
Yeah,
and
straight
talk
up.
about what you were saying in your video. It's actually quite, yeah. You know what? We'll wait a little, like Shem said, but yes, we're definitely gonna talk about this. That's just,
Yeah,
yeah, that was fantastic.
yeah. I went Aldi today. I don't know if you lot got Aldi where you are. If all of you have Aldi, it's a supermarket. I went this morning with the pushchair like a right posh person, an empty pushchair. So I didn't have to carry anything when I left. I am officially English now.
Yeah.
I walk around with an empty pushchair.
Hi, Laura.
Hi,
And
Laura.
glad that you found Shem's channel.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming and
So
finding
so
me.
you're there. Yeah.
I'm officially English. I'm officially a chav. I walked in well and knowing I don't have no baby, okay, in the pram. But I th- at at first I was like, no, Shem, this is beneath you. And then I said, I don't want to carry 2 6 packs of water. That's how many liters? No, no, I ain't got
No,
time
no,
for that.
that's
It's
that's a bit
24 liters of water.
that's a bit
No.
much.
Um,
Yeah, look at this. It's not. I don't know what to make of this.
babe,
There
do
we
you
go.
not see my head tie struggling over this?
No, no, it's just the
It's one of them
headphones. Just
days.
like a,
It's an empty pushchair in Aldi day.
right.
So, so I went there with an empty pushchair and I left there with my groceries in it, and it is
Yeah.
what it is. And then Omondi made it so much more classy, and he pulled like the little hood thing over it, like there was
Yeah.
some baby
Why
actually in there.
carry something when you don't have to? Yeah, Brandon, you know what? Yeah, I had a well, it's not exactly the same, but the way you came out of your body and all that, yeah, for me was quite alike. But we're gonna talk about it for sure. Like um
I was so
blessed.
excited for you.
Aldi is the best. Yeah, Aldi is nice, man. They got good stuff. You know what? When you once you've compared certain like supermarket, you realize that some of the stuff aren't worth you paying double the price elsewhere when Aldi can actually provide a great quality. That's not on everything, but for sure some of the stuff are great. Um,
Yeah. You have a dedicated porter for that cart system
in my
in your
truck,
truck.
not sure if they do that in places outside of the state.
I don't think they
No, they
do.
don't. No, there's a lot of things you guys have that we don't have here. But usually it's because the country's smaller, so like they can't take so much space, whereas you guys can
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited to hear
can
about it.
afford to have more
I'm
space.
gonna honestly, I'm waiting 2 more minutes and then we're gonna ride in and we're gonna start talking about it because this is juicy. When I saw it, I was so happy for you. At the bottom line, I was just like, this is wonderful. Hey Tia.
Hi, Tia.
Um and I was just happy for you. Like I was just like, yo, Brandon's had his OBE. Like, yeah. So just and thanks for sharing.
I'm seeing Diana saying, "Yep, I got my quarter peel ready for me for Aldi too." Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Pal. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you quarter pal.
Hey Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Yo, listen, sometimes I'll just be walking in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to carry anything today. So I like a posh woman walk in there with an empty pram, and I walk out with a pram full of groceries, and it is what it is.
Well, do you know what?
When people are out here with a cat in a pram, who are you to judge me with my groceries in my pram? Okay.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? We've got go to places like M&S and stuff like that. Some shops we like to go to. Obviously, they're seen as being more like upper class, but they're not that much more expensive
They've
on
got
some of the
nice mince
products, but
pies.
they've
That's
got
it.
some nice packaging, nice stuff. So it's nice to shop there. But Aldi can
Aldi's the
provide as
spot.
well, man. Actually, you know what? The demographic changed in
Yeah.
as far as who
Who shops
shops
in Aldi
in
now?
Aldi. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been completely
Yeah, for
different. But
real.
they also bought up nice products. Seriously. Brandon is saying, thank
All
you
right.
guys so much. Yeah, I was excited and really confused. Yeah, so some stuff can still be a bit confusing. But usually it's due to our expectation. So the
So,
less expectation you have, the less confused you become because you let go of how you think it has to take place.
all right.
And yeah, yeah,
You
man.
know what, Brandon? We are going to start. Okay, let's get into it. So, Brandon, I'm going to set the scene, and Brandon's going to text as fast as he can to fill in the blanks.
But he's got a video and he's just like a
Yeah.
newly opened channel, so definitely guys go and check it out. Like
Yeah.
it, and he has his own way to tell stories, which is what we like as well. So everyone gotta tell the stories the way it resonates for them. So that's really important. You know,
Yeah.
you
he's,
ready?
he's ready. All
Okay,
right.
okay, that's good. Good, good.
Um,
And you say, "Oh yeah, I'm for sure going to watch it." Yeah, after, yeah,
do.
do. It's fantastic.
All right. So I'm going to skim over some details, but fill it in though. Film it if I say something wrong. So he actually had his first OBE experience, and remember, like all these weeks, like he's been coming, he's been trying, he's been patient with it. But apparently, this was like the first week he was just like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Like I'm just gonna do some meditation. I'm just gonna relax, and I'm not really planning on it. And then when it finally happened for him, he didn't know whether or not he was actually having an OBE. He was because it felt so real.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. Okay. Because it felt so real for him, which is what we like to talk about. Like when you get over there, it's more physical. So y- even though, yes, you can push your hands through things, you can walk through walls and stuff like that, you're still very physical, like everything. I was telling you the guys the other day when I went to the beach, I felt the sand. I felt every single grain of that sand, like it's never felt like that before. It's that type of level that he was experiencing. So when he woke up, he was in his apartment, he was in his bedroom, and he was like, didn't know whether he was just getting up out of bed or whether it was just him dreaming or OBE. He wasn't sure. So he was like, okay, I'm going to just check out a few things. Everything seemed to be the same. Okay. I'm going to read. And when I left my body, my apartment looked different. There we go. His apartment looked different, but it still looked like his apartment. If that makes sense, makes total sense. Um, I he flew to his ceiling, but it felt so real. He kept questioning it, as if he was awake. Like, am I awake? Am I not? I think the flying to the ceiling thing pretty sealed the deal, though. When you flying up on your ceiling peeps you out of body.
I was going to say something just because before we go further, I'm seeing like a synchronistic moment. See Creo, hi Creo.
Hey, Creo.
You say, do we always have to lower? Do you always have to lower your heart rate to get an OB? Well, we're gonna come and answer that, but as we speak about Brandon's actual experience, we'll be able to address that as well because his experience is like interesting in itself.
Yeah. One thing he does make aware is that he was tired, and his body was relaxed. So his body was tired. His body was able to be still. Um, so as far as lowering your heart rate is concerned, naturally, when you are that tired, your heart rate naturally lowers. So with or without thinking, whether you want to call it relaxing or staying still or just meditation, whatever idea you put upon that, yeah, you kind of have to lower your heart rate. This is why the excitement thing, smacking you back into your body, is a thing, because you've now raised your heart rate. Okay, so Brandon's saying that he also didn't see himself out of his body, which he was told that he would. Now, okay, I wanted to talk about that with you. So, like I said, I've been having spontaneous ones all my life, and I'd never looked back and seen myself in my bed until recently, when I learned that that was even a thing. But when I usually have them, I don't look back because I don't want to see my body there. I have seen my body maybe a handful of times, but for the most part, because everyone keeps on saying, "Oh, if you look back at your body and you're going to get slapped back in," I don't even bother look back anymore. Um, I just leave and go about my business, and I'll just know whether or not I'm out of body. Um, However, I have been out of body, been in my house, and not seen my body in the bed, but been in bed. Got out of my bed and turned around, and there was an empty bed. So it's not weird what you went through. Like, however, my room was nothing like the same. It looked extremely much luxurious than my room looks like. And that's normal. That's really, really normal, because these are the things that are in your field. So when you come out, what you're looking at is your field, like things you've said, things you've thought about, and things that you're kind of like manifesting on the other side. Um, so what else? Let me just catch up with what you said. Okay. So Brandon is though saying, for me, I didn't lower my heart rate. I didn't I didn't have sleep paralysis, which is something I don't have either. So I'm like, snap. I basically meditated while I was exhausted and I popped out. See, the thing is about lowering your heart rate, you could say, um, can I lower my heart rate? But for the most part, if you don't have one of those, what are they called? You know what I'm saying?
Like a monitor, the
If you
heart
don't
rate.
have a monitor
Yeah.
on, how do you really know how low your heart rate's going? So for some people, they do wear a monitor just so that they know how their heart rate at the time of them being able to slip out, so that they can catch those moments during the night. But deep relaxation, and depending on who you are as well, because I naturally have a very low heart rate. So I don't know if you get that as well, Brandon, or I don't know. But when I meditate, when I just am tired, like I've been woken up before by family members like, "Oh my god, I thought you were dead." I'm I'm pretty much out. Okay, I'm pretty much. So I can see why you would pop out through deep relaxation.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna try to, before we
go.
go too far, just to
Okay,
address a few
okay.
things. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna talk about number one, the first things that sleep paralysis and lowering your heart rate. Okay, I know that Darius has been teaching many people about how to induce sleep paralysis, but that's also because naturally he's been experiencing this. Now, he did not also exclude the fact that some people can get into an obi via also dream state. Now, while I talked about my experience when I finally left my body, and I mean like with full awareness. So actually, the decoupling of myself to my consciousness, to my body, whatever, my soul body to my body, my physical body. So I experienced that, but then I started connected the dot. So we had, Amina Mara. She's has a lot of knowledge when it comes to the dream state and lucid dreaming and all that. And I asked her a few questions about sleepwalking. I used to be someone that used to sleepwalk a lot. So sleepwalking take place when new souls venturing out, because every night we all come out of our body, whether we want to say we had a conscious obey or not. You having an obey regardless, but you've you just travel, right? You leave your body, and it's the absence of sleep paralysis. That's why you see someone sleepwalking. So your soul's doing whatever, and your physical body is trying to do the same things. So sleep paralysis has been naturally a natural mechanism for many of us to keep you um, put. So then when you do something, your body's not often doing anything. That's why when people fall asleep walking, you're like, wow, how do you? How do you see? Like, how can you do all of this stuff? Because it's very linked to your soul. So I knew I've been sleepwalking for ages, do the whole 9 yards, which means for me, leaving my body without sleep paralysis makes sense because I'm not tethered to sleep paralysis in terms of being able to leave my body.
Yeah.
And there's many souls out there, many of us
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
Can I induce a sleep paralysis? Yeah, I can induce it. I can experience it, but maybe your natural state it's not to have one, which means you're not in the need to necessarily lower your heart rate to shut down your body, because in order to get sleep paralysis you need to be able to shut down that body. So you will lower your heart rate deliberately in order to do that. But like Shem said, when you're in a state of meditation or relaxation, your heart rate shouldn't be high. It's like saying like, well, when I walk, my heart rate doesn't really go up, because usually for you heart rate to go up, you will run, you'll make like have physical exercises. So that's why I think, Brandon, for you, you might have this ability where you can leave your body without the need of a sleep paralysis.
Yeah. This is
Now, it
literally
doesn't
what
make
he
you.
just said that there. That,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So it doesn't make you better or worse. It's nothing to see with this. It's just different experience, and you sort of like usually choose that experience deliberately. And now for the way you left as well, like you say, one of your limbs starting floating. Well, that was the same thing for me. It was my right leg for me, just started floating, and by the
Yeah.
time I know it, I literally felt like I was laying down in my bed like that, and I just did. Which, let's face it, if you asked me to do that now, I wouldn't be able to do it. So that's an indication
Yes,
that
you
you.
can go on. Look. No, I'm joking. Look.
That basically is an indication that you're definitely leaving your body. There's no two ways about that.
But
Yeah,
what Brandon was talking about as well was like he felt his arm going up, and then what he did, which was really great piece of advice, by the way, Brandon, is he just focused on that movement. So like he relaxed into the fact
yeah,
that he felt his soul arm move,
yeah.
and instead of just being like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. He just focused on the fact that his soul arm moved, and then he felt it move again. And then he just focused again on what he felt. And it's like he gained momentum in that feeling, and then he was able to come out.
Well, I was going to mention something about this. I know Brandon did mention the fact that he did not have an intention necessarily, which explained quite a lot of things. So for me, when I had it, I wasn't for having an OBE or against, but I was like, hey, if it happened, why not? Let's see what was going to happen. Like I was really open and I didn't have an expectation per se. So, but I had one attention before that, which is to see my soul records. So what I would say, it's so when you explain that you finally left your body and you cannot let go of the idea of needed to do it. It just happened. That's pretty much the case, and that's good the case for a lot of us when we finally say, you know what, whatever. Like I'm not gonna have an expectation. These things take place because
That's the
it's
release.
you're relinquishing the need for control, and that is very important because then you're not bound to the limitation of your physical body. So
Yeah.
that's why you were able to just
Yeah.
leave with ease.
Um, and by the way, guys, spoiler alert, It's happened more than once now for him already. Like
Yeah.
he's got 2 videos. Um,
And
so then he said here, I've watched so much of Darius's videos and expected mine to be like what he described. So that's what confused me because I didn't see any dark spirits
well, well,
or my body. That's
well,
the thing we're talking about, it
me,
being different. Um,
me neither. I'm gonna.
go on.
Yeah, I was just going to mention about yeah. So the thing is, some things you understand, we all relate to one another for different reasons. So Darius has been very explicit as far as when he was young, he used to have these sleep paralysis and he used to be terrified. So a lot of people approach Darius as well because they experience the same exact things. So they already know they're experiencing that things. But you might have been attracted to his content for other reason and probably the need on the higher level to experience what it is to live your body. So a lot of these things as well, they fear based. That Darius mentioned it very clearly, which means that a lot of things it's induced because you have all these beliefs and etc. So
And
not
it's
seeing this entity one by the time you come
yeah.
out, it's normal if you never really were scared of that.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah,
personal level. That's why he talks about getting over your fears on a personal level.
yeah,
Like you have to get over your fears. But just like us, like Brandon, we haven't done the Ada method. We've just watched his videos and his videos resonated with us, but we haven't done the method. But we have been out of body. So, like we keep on saying, guys, it's going to be different for each and every one of us. Where we'll see similarities, we'll also see situations like this where he's like, "Yo, that's like different."
yeah.
But this is why we share it so that
But
other people are like, "Okay, great,
yeah, and I'm
note,
gonna I'm gonna address one thing
high right
about
to right."
how right to right. I'm gonna address one thing as well. The fact that you did not see yourself. When I turned around for me, I saw myself laying down in the bed, but I wasn't dressed the same. But I also was well aware that I asked to see my soul records. So I went find a mirror that was in my cupboard. Not that I know in this physical life, I don't put the mirror there. I don't know. I knew. I just opened the cupboard, took the
Yeah.
mirror, and like you say, you talk about how when you trying to fit through the mirror was too small. Like you couldn't physically do that now in this reality. Well, it's the same thing. I had a small tile mirror like this, and I just put my hand and I went through. Now, obviously, you had a different experience because you explained as well, Brandon, that for you it's like you had to kind of push a little, and then you find yourself on the other side of the room, like in the
He found
front room,
himself in his living room. So it's
in
like
your
he
living room. Yeah,
just it was as if he went through the door.
yeah.
He went through the wall.
But this is a portal. It's just because okay, the portals are attention based. So depending on what your attention is set, you're gonna go wherever you have to go. So that's why setting an intention before. Come on.
And because Omondi had said, I want to see my soul records before any of his OBE, when he went through the portal, he went to go and then see some of his soul records. But if you hadn't set any intentions and you were still just experimenting about like going through walls or just wanting to stay in your apartment and kind of stay safe, because there was a point where you were saying that you were like, I don't want to go downstairs or upstairs because there's apartments here and I don't want to find like myself in someone else's place. I don't know if they're going to see me. So it's probably why you were just exploring your own space. And why when you went through the mirror, you just ended up in the next room. um, so yeah, so here we go. Also, how come when I went through the mirror? Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Literally, we were just talking about that.
it's you see you went through a
Um,
portal, but it's intention based.
and I think your intention was to not be seen. You didn't want anyone to see you or be surprised. And I don't think you wanted to infringe on anyone else's privacy as well, because you're like, wow, like I don't know what I'm gonna walk in on. So I don't want to just kind of like
Yeah, you have integrity, so
so
you're
in
just
your
like,
moments of
nah,
integrity, you
I'm
were
not.
like, I
Yeah,
think I'll just go to the living room.
yeah.
But you can set your intentions next time, which we're going to talk about. Um, so I also called my spirit guides and no one showed up. I've got an answer for that as well. I was by myself the whole time. In the second OBE, I looked in the mirror and I saw a female version of myself. Your guide. Your guide. You did ask for it. Um, and this is the thing. Sometimes they show up in places that you least expect. So there was a point in Brandon's second OBE where he did venture out and he went up into the sky, and from where I can see, you went like up past the atmosphere. It was dark, and then you saw a building. You went up to this building. By the way, the building looked really beautiful. And as he went into the building, he found himself surrounded by like mirrors and statues, but nobody was there. So he started like calling out, asking people like, "Hello, is anyone there? Hello, is anyone there?" But because you'd like already set your intention to see your guide, when you looked in the mirror and you said you wanted to see yourself in the mirror, and then you saw a female version of yourself, um, if at that point you had tried to talk to that person in the mirror, they would have spoken back. And I know that seems like, huh? But yeah, um, if you'd said, "Are you my guide?" and they were, they would have answered, but you could have quite possibly got a glimpse of your higher self as well. So
I think
these are the things like when you look into mirrors, and especially if you ask like to see more clearer, because I know there were times where your vision was foggy and you were like, okay, I want to see more clearer. You can just say stuff like clarity now, I see now, or now I see, or I see clear now. And just like that, you will start to have more of your vision. So when you saw this version of yourself, because you know here your avatar is not female, then you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, that's okay, cool. So then who are you? You could ask that question as well. So next time, if you see her again, that's what you could ask.
I would say another thing as well. And you did not, because okay, you would have been. This is the thing. You saw someone, and you told yourself, "Oh, that is me," even though they were not looking exactly like you, but they were looking like you. But you recognize that, and a lot of the time, that's what takes place. For me, the version of me, because I turn around and say, "Well, let me see my body," and the version of me was dressed differently, which means there was a my higher self. And Shem just said to me, but because I had a mission, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go myself record. I was drawn to get into like through the mirror, like I said. But Shem said to me after that, said, "Well, you could have just talked to them, and it would have been." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not the first time I've heard a story where someone see themselves and talk to them." And
Mm,
so I was like, "Yeah, I could have. I just didn't think about it."
yeah.
But that was I wasn't dressed the same, and it's just the way it is sometimes.
And
So yeah, a lot of us have higher self here.
and I love the way that you experienced that, because you were just like, as it got clear, you were like, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
Are you like it was like, please go watch this video.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
But
Hi Juliana.
lot of us have higher self as guides, like
Yeah.
man, because the when I left, I heard a voice on my left side saying "I love you," and it was a female voice, and I didn't see any guides there. I just knew it was one of my guides because it's some things I've always asked. But sometimes they present them because they're you, because you're your own guide for some of us. It's not everyone that's going to see all the team there.
Yeah. And the team will appear at different times, or has appeared at different times in different ways. But for a lot of us, especially in this collective, I've noticed that we are it's like we have a soul agreement to tap up to our higher self this time around. So that's what seems to be appearing most of the time for us. So
Probably.
Bless is saying, yeah,
Hi,
okay.
Juliana.
Yeah, hiya.
Hi,
Um,
Kennedy. See you.
hey Kennedy. Hey Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so Shelby saying, yeah, I'm probably off topic, but I'm always slow to the party. But Shem, I found all of your songs yesterday. I was spent, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing an album. I'm gonna let everybody else pick the title of the album because I'm not attached to what the
Yeah.
name is. So I'm gonna let everyone pick. Whoever wants to listen to it can listen, and then they can, like, I'll give them a week to pick a name, and then everyone could decide which name they think is best, and I'll just call it that and put it out.
Uh,
Yeah.
I see Brandon.
Thank you. Thank
Brandon.
you. Thanks for listening.
I see you say, yeah, you say that we are spot on. That yeah, you didn't want to invade someone's privacy. Yeah, you've got integrity.
Of course, that's
And
that's who you
another
are when
thing
you're by yourself. That's
about
it.
Darius mentioned quite a lot is about how much integrity you do have to hold and have. Like you have to be in your full integrity, and so that's why the work begins also here. So the more integrity you have here, it will translate on the other side. So I'm sure Brandon, you already feel that way here anyway.
So Brandon says, "Wait, my guide." But she had my features and didn't say anything to me. Why do spirit guides act mysteriously instead of just saying, "Hey, what's up? You called me."
I know why. I can
I
say.
can tell why as well.
Yeah, but go
Because
on.
I had a similar
Um,
experience. You want to
we
go?
yeah, they don't say to. Okay, this is the thing. We operate from Earth. A lot of the time, you do project on the other side part of your experience here. So languages, um, they've been installed as a limitations. It was normally planned for us to use languages, but it's a lesser versions when it comes to the mean of communication than what telepathy is. So sometimes you are better, and that goes for us here to say nothing than say something that will be misinterpreted. So sometimes they don't because they give you the time to get your head around what's taking place, have reflection, perhaps come to alive now and have different perspective.
Mm.
So when you go back the next time, you're prepared or you have a different understanding. So sometimes they wait the right time. It's all about timing in order to actually say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Shelby was actually chatting about Ebonics about a week or two ago. And that's the thing, like when languages are spoken, they were really introduced as a means not of communication, but of separation. So when you're on the other side, sometimes languages aren't used first. It's very much your thoughts and your intentions and your will. So even if you'd thought, "Are you my guide?" She may have answered. So it's that as well. And it's getting used to that means of communication. Um, Not that I don't talk on the other side out aloud, but I've come to realize the more I say on the other side, it's usually to swear. It's usually to swear. I ain't got nothing wise to say over there when I say it out my mouth, so I don't even try. Um, but I have had an experience where I've seen somebody who looked like me, but it took me a minute to even recognize her because I was like, "Oh my god, who is this lady? Her hairline is intact. Hang on a minute. Why is her skin glowing?" I was like, and I kind of like tilt.
That's the way you say it's so surprised.
I was
Uh,
because her hairline was full and luscious.
and
Okay,
it's the details in which you choose to just like pay attention to. It's
listen, and I like kind of put my head to the side, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I said, Are you me? Are you my guide?" And then at that point, she then opened her hand, and then a huge purple lily just flew out of her hand, and then it kind of like flew in my face, and then by the time I kind of turned around, she was gone. So I know what you mean by, "Can I just get a hey, what's up? It's me." Because I was like, "Girl, that's not an answer," but
So sometimes I think it's also the frequency you're on at the present moment, and
Mm,
if whatever you are ready to receive, there
yeah.
is something. The reason why is because I had another experience not so long ago. I mean, a few weeks ago, and then only the other day. probably no, I'm say a few weeks, probably 3 months ago. And only the other day, my daughter started talking to me about foxes, and that's when the penny dropped. I was like, oh, I get it now. So that's what I'm saying. There's a part of it where you higher yourself just presented themselves, so you're in awareness of it, and then things will unfold from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta let
So
it
you might see
unfold.
her again.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Long
so.
story short, you might see her again.
Yeah.
Um, and she could also be an aspect of you, or she could also be a twin flame of yours. And I don't mean that in twin flame romantically. I mean like a divine partnership on the other side. Like I've been saying about these partnerships, sometimes you'll have like a pairing where they've decided, I'm going to stay on the other side and you stay here, and then we'll communicate that way. Um, so yeah, it could be any of those things. These are the things you can ask when you see her again. All right.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, hey, Robert. Hey,
Hey,
Caesar.
Caesar.
Hey. Listen, that
Yeah, good to see you
Mandela
here, man.
effect, yo,
Yeah.
went down a rabbit hole.
We got to talk some more. We're going to have to plan something again. Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I'm trying to. Hey, cat.
Hey, cat.
All right. So Brandon is saying, if I have another OBE tonight, do you guys have any advice? Um, I never have an intent when I pop out because I never expect to leave my body, and I feel like I've gotten good at leaving my body now though. This is the thing, like my one piece of advice to you would be, even though you've gotten good at it, if it doesn't happen, don't beat yourself up. And I mean that, like, sometimes something comes easy and then all of a sudden, like, it doesn't. It could be jarring. If you ever do find yourself in that position, do not beat yourself up and don't try to focus on it too much.
Yeah.
That's just one.
Yeah.
Number two, also, even if you have small experiences that last maybe even a quarter of the time your others did, because you were out your body for a while. I think the first time was an hour, you were saying. Still validate those,
Yeah.
because just because your recall is a little bit lower or whatever it is, it doesn't make it less valuable of an experience. And as far as setting your intentions are concerned, we were actually talking about this yesterday. You could say something as simple as, I'm going to see that which I need to right now. I'm going to see that which my soul desires to see right now. And that way, you're not trying to control what it is, but you're still setting a platform that you can have an open experience to, that will be still aligned with you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a specific intent, but it's enough to keep you in a place where you're not suddenly going to be somewhere you're not interested in, or that your soul hasn't got planned for you on some level. And you won't limit yourself, because like I was saying at the beginning, I was saying, okay, that's it, angel realm, and I spent 3 months trying to get in. If I'd just said, let me do something that's soul aligned, I may have gone other places. You see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to get in that bloody door for 3 months.
Well, I'm gonna say something really quick about that as well before we move on. Um, Agreeing with what Shem just said about trying to control the experience. Now, I understand there is a way to do things, and you now starting to understand your own way, and that's a bit what I was saying. So it's not a bad thing to just say, okay, I've noticed when I do this, that's what happened, and that's all good. This is fine. And you were mentioning as well, you had this jolt. That's the jerking stuff I was talking about. Like sometime when I'm really tired, I get these things. I feel I'm falling out of my body, or that. So all these small windows where you can experience these things. However, I was trying to control this a bit too much, and I realized that I had to release it because I started having experience where I was out of my body, But because I didn't come out the same way, I kind of like didn't validate it as being the same, even though the experience was really real. And I've experienced things where like the messages got in this was just like mind blowing. But I was like, oh yeah, but uh, because I felt like, okay, I left so easily, I want to experience it that way. And that's where you can limit yourself, what Shem said, and I can confirm that. So then do practice the what you find out, improve it, but be open to maybe another way if you ever come out another way, or find yourself. What happened to me is I'm finding myself in situations. So I didn't experience the lifting up one of the things that bam. I mean, it's like, wow, what's this? And I had to deal with it, and I realized like, oh wow, okay, it can happen also that way. And it wasn't even what Darius mentioned, where you in a dream, you're trying to gain consciousness, look at your hand, and then bam, pop out. And a lot of people have mentioned how do you become conscious in the dream, whether you go and look yourself in the mirror or stuff like that. There's different ways to do it. So it wasn't that. It was just drop into the situation. That was it. So that's what's important, and that is where I found out why I was limiting myself, because I started wanting to control it absolutely. So now you've got this experience, yeah, enjoy yourself, but yeah, remain open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shelby saying, you guys do a small intimate concert and we will buy tickets and attend, trust me. Is this a full album? Yeah, it's a full
yeah,
album.
100%.
Um, I actually had to cut down some songs because I had to cut down some songs. I was like 20. I was on some 90s shit. It was like 20 tracks. I said no, boom,
Yeah, no.
done. But yeah, on my channel at some point, I think I'll just do like a live run through and just do like
Yeah,
an
we'll set that up.
album
Yeah,
listening live, sing chat thing, whatever it is, it'll be a vibe, and I'll just do my thing. Um, and I'll let everybody know about it. Whoever wants to come through.
yeah,
Okay.
yo, Caesar. Yes, yes. I said the word. Well, actually, it's funny. We two things. I was like, I want to make it to one of you live again, and I wanted to. So I've got to catch you on your live. But another thing, I
The
will
baby
mention.
crashed the plans, Caesar.
Yeah,
It wasn't us. We had
but
it down 11:30
me
our
and Shem,
time.
me and Shem just said, okay, so you know what? Let's contact Caesar and just like plan another thing. This is our things we wanted to talk to you about as well, and I know like we can share other stuff. So for sure, so
We're
it's
gonna. We're
100%.
just.
So we'll
I'm
just
just
contact
gonna.
you on that. Yeah,
After I get off of this, I'll just contact you.
yeah,
Look, and plus, I've had 2 out of bodies with you, and I have to talk about them. So I'll discuss it with you when I see it.
yeah. Love you,
When we
man.
see
No
you.
problem. Yeah, I know. You got to go, but yeah, we'll
No,
definitely
thank
reach
you for
out.
swinging
Yeah,
by. Love you.
yeah.
All right. So Tia, Shem, I get the feeling that I'm going somewhere, but I have no idea where. Can you feel anything? Yeah, sure. Is this in dream state that you're doing it? Because I feel like you're going to the same place you daydream about. Do you have any daydreams as well? I used to do. I guess if I'm getting it right, you're 16 as well. But I used to do this thing where I drifted a lot. I had to control it. But if you understand what I'm saying, you'll be sitting somewhere having a conversation, your attention will just drift. And it's as if your body's there, but your mind is elsewhere. Um, Tell me if you experience that first, and then I can see into it a little bit more. Um,
Renee
Please
said,
have patience with us as we go down this list.
yeah, Renee is
Okay.
saying, it's been first of all, hi Renee. It's been a hot minute since I had an baby. I think I had lost my curiosity for it, or my soul didn't plan for more at the moment. Think I'll try and
Rev
rev
it
it
up again.
up again. Yeah,
Yes,
it comes. It's like come in waves, really.
yeah.
And sometimes I think you have to sit with yourself a little bit and ask yourself, do I still want to do it? Like, don't just think like it's on a soul level, because you're fully connected with your soul. So sometimes it's good to say, okay, where am I now? And really have a feel for it and really ask yourself the question, because you might find the answer very quickly. Usually, when you stay quiet, calm for a minute, and really wait for the answer, don't try to
Yeah.
front run anything. Just wait, you'll get the answer.
And this is what we were speaking about with Blessed. By the way, guys, we did the big chat with Blessed, and it went
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah. When
And
absolutely well.
he's a natural, and that will that I'm saying interview for lack of a better term will be dropping soon, and
Yeah,
it was great. And this is literally what we were talking about, like sometimes it doesn't matter whether or not you've experienced an OBE or whether it was a long time ago. Sometimes you're going through an experience where you're asking yourself on a soul level to just sit and feel into what your body has to offer you. So, like what Amondi was saying, there's a lot of things that you'll find the answer for if you just sit still, that you don't actually have to go to what you think are your guides about. A lot of it is really about having that honest, quiet time with yourself and asking yourself the
yeah,
question and feeling into where the answer really is pulling you. Um, and I know what you're saying, Renee, because I go in and out of even caring whether I have one. And that's usually when I'll have one and I'll be like, wow, okay, well, that was that. Um, and then I'll know also when I'm kind of just taking the piss because I mean, like, my last big question as far as putting my intentions towards something was, what car should I get? What? What?
yeah,
But you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, how soul searching is that? Like,
yeah. But there's no silly question. At the
I
end of the
get
day,
it, babe,
if you
but you
think
see what
about
I
it,
mean, though.
it's
And I
what you
was
have.
answered, by the way, I was answered in a lot of DL, like down to the model. Like, don't get this year because that year has this problem, and don't get this year, that year has that problem. And I was like, okay. And I even went and checked behind to see like what other people's reviews are, and it was spot on. So it gets to the point where it's like, are you going to use the information that you were given? Because that's part of gratitude as well. So yeah. But
Yeah.
if you want to go for it, go for it. See what happens.
So Kennedy, you saying been having more vivid dreams. So my tactic now is to repeatedly tell myself that I am in my room over and over as I fall asleep. I am hoping this works soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you know there's no wrongdoing? This like whatever suits you and
Do
your
you get sleep
personality.
paralysis?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. How what's your method, Kennedy? Um, if you have one that you even favor.
Yeah.
Brandon is saying also, remember when Darius said the earth was in a firmament? I flew to space in my second OBE, which contradicted what he said about space a little. So was I in a different realm?
I've
This is
got
the
an
thing.
explanation for this. Yeah.
Go on. I'm actually going to be inviting someone on who specializes in
All right.
eloquently speaking about the differences between why some people see different things when they come out of body as far as the shape of the earth is concerned. Like, he could put it in whole sentences that
Okay.
that makes sense to a wider crowd than what I can right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Um. Right. This has a lot to say, and is often overlooked about consciousness, what we are, but truly what we are here in this realm, not outside of the construct, because manifestation, the way it takes place here, it's particular to here. This construct, realm one, has its own particularity. Consciousness dictate the universe. Consciousness dictate your reality and how it's part of how you manifest reality. Yes, there's the marker events, so contract are there, which things will take place at some point. In some of these multiple reality, you're multi-dimensional beings. So what that means is there's different versions of the truth, different perception. So we know if you want to manifest something, it is thought plus feelings equal reality. You add momentum to that, I mean repeatedly, stay in the frequency of which the things you want to manifest are, and that's basically how you do it. So the reality doesn't dictate consciousness. The universe, sorry, doesn't dictate consciousness. So when you perceive, the reason why so many of us, and it still surprised me that even though the universal rule, law, if you want, of the universe is that way, why so many of us still find it so hard to have acceptance for the fact that it's different perception in what the truth is and reality. Now, once you come out of the construct, it's another story. So when Darius talk about these things, he's telling you from a perspective out of the construct, how the construct is made. So that is why so many of us are, yeah, but I experienced this. Yeah, but you hold on to a programmation as well, to a reality that's been inbuilt in you for a long time. You've been programmed for a long time here to think certain things of the way they are. So the reason why your perception, what you've experienced for the sake of your psyche right now, will be experienced in a certain way. So
Yeah.
you have to take this into consideration. And it is why it's such a huge debate, and people agree to disagree about how flat the earth is or round or whatnot. I, as a result, because of that, I decided, you know what, let me care less about if it's round or flat, if there's a firmament, but more about what's the nature of our consciousness here while we are expanding the actual experience. And if we are alive to a degree, even if the reality is that the earth is flat or round, it doesn't matter. Why am I being lied about?
Yeah. What am I
So
being
I
lied
can
to
stay
about?
in
Yeah.
my truth. So you've experienced this. It's you only experience it through the filter you have, what you're able to filter, because you're still in realm one, perhaps realm two. You're not even out of the construct. So that is why a lot of people not quite understanding why they still see like a round earth instead of a flat earth.
Or a flat one or whatever.
And for the sake of being gods, we do have to begin to trust our own judgment, our own perceptions, and expand our consciousness.
Yeah. Maybe if you do want to know, Brandon, you can ask to leave the construct.
Yeah.
That could be your next goal. If you really want to know, like if it's like, you know what, I really do want to know for myself, then have that, set that as one of your goals. You could. If you're interested, if you don't care, don't even think twice about it. Go do something else. Ride a unicorn or something, but you know what I mean? But if you want to know, like just be like, I do want to leave the construct. I want to see for myself. Then go and see for yourself then. Um you seem like you have a really curious nature and that you do want to know the truth for yourself, and I love the way that you went around your apartment testing all these things, all your theories. You were like, nope, okay, mirror, hand through mirror, not that I just so I know you'll be able to. I know you'll
But
be able
but
to,
I
no problem.
understand, Brandon, why you mention it. You mention what you've
Things that
experienced.
aren't the
Yeah,
same,
yeah.
and that's the whole point of sharing.
It's we are living in a reality where it's difficult to accept that people will experience different timelines, different version of reality or truth. Hence the Mandela effect. For some people, it would be like, well, no, I've experienced this. Like, I think you're lying. No, how about you both saying the truth?
It's like that Bernstein Bears and the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
Nuts. Okay. So Shelby's saying, so do your spirit guide or guides ever leave you? I used to feel the presence. I named her and she confirmed the name on the next day by a physical name plaque on a door in a weird place. I can't feel her. Okay, so I understand, but they don't leave you. You just drop out of whether or not you require them in the way that you did previously. Some of them, they will be with you your whole journey, and some will stay for a certain amount of the journey. Um, One thing is for sure, you are never alone. Sometimes they'll do a handoff as well. So they'll be with you for a certain amount of time, and then they'll hand you off to another guide that's supposed to fulfill another part of your life, another phase of your life. And even if you can't feel her the way you used to, it may be a calling for you to feel into her in a different manner. And in doing that and pursuing that way of feeling into her will develop another one of your abilities, or at least awaken one of your dormant abilities, if you see what I mean. Um so Kennedy, you want to read this
Yeah.
one?
Kennedy say I only had SP once. SP, what do you mean by that? Do you know SP? What would that mean?
um Sleep paralysis.
Sleep. Okay, okay, okay. I only had sleep. Oh wow, guys, you have to update me with the abbreviation. I only had. Well, I just got updated. I only had sleep paralysis once when I was a kid, and I didn't know what it was. And I have a feeling the medication I was on at the time may have induced it. But yeah, thinking exciting via dreams is my best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
Exiting via dreams.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes it is.
Exiting, sorry, via dreams is my best bet. But again, Kennedy, um, there's no best or no, it's things. Yeah. Try to remain open, even though for now it is what it is. But yeah, remain open. I'll do binaural beats or yeah, ocean
Ocean
sounds
sounds laying on your
laying
back.
on your back. Yeah, if you feel that's what works, do that. And
You have to, what I've realized is you have to be comfortable as
yeah,
well. So if
yeah,
you're not a back sleeper, don't force that
yeah.
because
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think, yeah. Shem saying, like what's probably the most, what would get you the most result is comfort beyond anything.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, 100%. Don't force anything. And even if you are playing certain beats, and I know they say binaural beats or whatever it is, but if they don't, if they don't resonate with you, because I'll be hearing some of these beats and I'll be like, what is this? It it's jarring to me sometimes, depending on what frequency it's on. Then that means it's just not for me, and just move on and find something else.
yeah,
There's this lady I listen to. She's Rosalie Yoga, and she does lots of methods, and she'll do guided meditations into out of body experiences. So she'll start at the beginning talking to you, and then she'll be playing calming music, sometimes waves, different things. Like she's got a plethora of things. She's on YouTube, and then she'll drop out of talking so that the experience could take place. So you might want to try something like that as well. Just like Amondi said, be open to trying different things. But this is really ultimately about your way, your comfort.
yeah. I wanted to correct one thing you just said. Even though you quote it again, darling, it's just what I meant. It's not try, let it come to you. I've done a lot of trying, and trust me, I'm telling you, I like trying to control things. Like that's
Yeah.
just the way I do. So,
I had
so
gave him a reading
yeah.
yesterday, and it was all
So,
about why is he trying to
so
micromanage his
yeah.
OBEs.
So let it come because I was the type of person that's like I will refuse things. I will just reset something. I like because I don't want it that way. I don't want it this way. So that's that much will I realize I have. I will just literally, even though I will come out of my body, I will say no. I don't want this. I want this that way because that's happened that way, and so
He was trying to micromanage the kingdom.
yeah. So look,
No,
let it come to you. And you'll be surprised what comes as well. Be like, wow, I didn't see that coming.
yeah,
Yeah.
better than you could have planned sometimes. So 2 years back,
Sometimes, all the time.
hang on, 2 years back, she stepped away. She didn't get the answer. Okay, it's Haley's your youngest. It's Haley's 16. Okay, great.
Oh right. Yeah.
Okay, the swearing's back on. No. I'll be all right this morning. I think I emptied. I emptied quite a lot on the street when I was coming back home from Aldi. Um, okay, so yeah, what I was saying to you, Tia, um, is this in dream state that you're experiencing this, or is this in waking state, or both? When you feel like you're traveling somewhere, are you somebody who is a drifter? If any of you out there like suffer from what people call ADHD, then you probably know what the drifting is. Like you'll be in a conversation with someone, and sometimes your mind will just go somewhere, and then people have to be like, "Hey, are you here?" And then you're like, yeah, I am." That do you experience that?
Well, you just drift away and you miss the answer. Jokes. But maybe that resonate.
This is what hang on. I feel triggered like you're trying to like do a double dig here because like I'll be drifting.
Jokes too.
Whatever.
Uh
Blessed.
blessed. Oh, there's two of you. That makes way more sense now. Okay,
Right?
yeah. Got the Shelby family trio.
Yeah.
That's really
There we
cool.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, two daughters. Two
Yeah,
daughters.
yeah. Bless regarding the Mandela effect and it creating multiple truths timeline. Sinbad played a Jenny in a movie, and no one can take that away from me.
For me neither. I won't have it. He was in Shazam, and I don't care what no one says.
Oh,
It happened.
man.
Then how else do we know him, people? Stop. Sinbad was in that movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we isn't that
Listen.
the whole reason we know him?
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention something, guys. Please press like. It's just to push the content, to have the content spread wide and reach out a lot of people. So
Or
do
share
press
it with
like.
somebody who it's not going
Or
to totally trigger.
even pressing like does help enormously. And obviously, for the one who wants to subscribe, yeah, do subscribe. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay, so this is Shelby and Bless talking. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Bless, can I chat you guys business? Sometimes I don't know whether to read the comments when you're chatting to one another or just skip over them to when people have questions. But I'm gonna go for it. Okay. So
for everyone.
all right, Blessed. All three of our days have the numbers 1, 2, 9. And we keep seeing the number every day, all the time, like a trinity. 129, that's like 39. Those are very spiritual numbers, by the way. And it's not that all numbers don't have some sort of vibration, but 129 in like on a vibrational term is like
It's 3. You're resolved to 3. That's
Yeah.
why you're 3.
that's why you're a 3.
One, it's like 1 and 9 is 10, 10 into 12, 12, 2 plus 1, 3. They resolve to, obviously.
It's literally the trinity that you are.
Esoteric knowledge. So for all the people who do
If
math,
you're into numerology, that's the
that's
3.
what we're doing.
And I think I mentioned to you already that they're also part of your team, like your guide team. So you're supposed to listen to your girls because you've all come here like knowing each other from another lifetime. Maybe you had a different dynamic back then, and I say that to say that's possible. I've experienced that with my 2 girls. My little one, Gabby, she just came out when she was she was like 2.5, 3. She said like she just told me like, oh, mummy, this time you're the mummy and I'm the baby, and it's your time to look after me. And last time it was my time, but this time it's your time, so you have to look after me, yeah? And I just said yeah, and it's been that way ever since, because when your 2.5-year-old tells you that, you just say yes. So when I'm telling you, you 3 are linked on another level to just what you have here, you are, and you are to listen to their guidance, because a part of your awakening is very much linked to theirs. It's like if all 3 come here and decided to all be different years of what they would call indigo children. Indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children, that generation. all three, one after the other,
Mm.
to come in together. That's beautiful. And
Juliana,
your birthdays consisted of numbers. Come on.
yeah,
Come on now.
it's no more coincidence.
Come on
Um,
now. We got to stop calling this a coincidence.
yeah, Juliana is saying I always have to ask people to repeat things twice. Things. Anyway, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
me
sometimes it
too.
bees
So
like that.
well, that happens a lot. Diana, yes, I have ADHD. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
it's
sorry, you wanted to say something? So,
yeah, I was saying, Deanna, like this ADHD thing that they would keep on hitting us with. I've always shrugged it off. I know what it is and I know what they're trying
mm.
to say, but in all honesty, it's it free spirit is what I like to call it. And what I will say, on those moments where we drift, I don't know if Tia goes through it. It's not in the dream space. It's not in the dream space. It feels like I need to get on a plane or a train or something. Okay. Okay. So yeah,
Could
go
you
on.
put this a new person with us? Ezib. Ezib. I can't. Well, I can try to pronounce your other name,
Don't
but
don't do that.
hey, Ezib. Tell us if we pronounce your name correctly. But
Hiya.
hi.
And please, yeah, with the pronunciation, just spell it out for us so that we can get it right.
Yeah.
But hi, welcome.
Welcome.
Um, so yeah, Deanna, Tia, yeah, drifting is something that is like, even though it happens to us a lot, what I would say in spaces like that, try and figure out where it is you're drifting to, because a lot of the time it's like a quantum thing. It's as if you are trying to multitask. So you're busy building something that your mind has already drifted to, your desire has already drifted to in that moment, in preparation for when you actually move into the physical of it. So that can come across as you drifting out of conversation or drifting out of something that you're doing. Let me know, like, if that resonates with you guys, especially Tia, because I know you asked.
So, Tia, you're saying as well that it feels like you need
It's not in the dream space.
to get on a plane. It's not in just dream space. Get on a plane or train or something. Um,
Yeah.
um, um,
Yeah, she said she's the oldest.
yeah, but usually when you feel like this, it's because you are minimizing the power of your soul. You holding it back. You always say, "Oh no, not this time. Yeah, next time. Yeah, maybe." Or you remain in doubt and you remain uncertain, and you need to apply certainty. So if you draw on, it's just your soul telling you to tap into your intuition. See if it's like your soul sending you a message saying to you, "You see what you feel? Yeah, yeah, we'll like some of this." And you like saying, "Oh, should I not?" You question it constantly. You're undermining what you soul desire is obviously is.
It's you pulling at you. It's you
Yeah,
tugging at you. It's you taking your own attention
yeah.
to do what you feel like you have to do. And a lot of the times, just check what it is that you're doing when you do drift, and see how much is actually in alignment with what your soul's desire is. And I'm not trying to talk in hierarchy like something's beneath you, but sometimes if you are doing a task that seems to be beneath your soul's desire, you on a soul level will tug at yourself
Uh,
and be like,
In other words, you're bored.
okay, yeah, you're
So,
bored. You're bored and you want to be somewhere else, bored somewhere else. Okay, Brandon. So, do
Brandon,
you guys have any special abilities like psychic abilities or telepathic? Are you guys able to read my aura and stuff?
I don't call it special, because everyone has. It's just whether you tap into it or not. Now, as far as telepathic, yeah, do have
Amondi's
the
extremely telepathic, and we always
the
talk to one another
the ability.
telepathically.
But I
He
was being
he
told,
doesn't like it, guys.
yeah,
Are you not seeing him struggling right
stop,
now?
stop.
Expose
No,
live. No,
no, no, no,
he
no, no.
doesn't like it. Because
Okay.
he is who he is, and the
I've
science
got to
in him is like,
I've got to share some experience in the
Go on.
videos. I will share in the videos. I will make a video for that. We had something called AIWS. It's Alice in Wonderland syndrome. So basically, you look in the reality around you, and it's not what it is. And it just happened that they don't know what causes it. And a lot of things they say, I always knew it wasn't true. So I used to hear voices, and constantly, basically, I was between the age of 7 and 9 years old, and I pushed it down so it never comes back up. That's what I was doing because I was scared. So that's always been there, and every time in the past when I was younger, I always find myself someone dragging me into a psychic, and I just didn't want to go. And I ended up
Now you tell me.
to go. You know, I did not want to go.
I
You know
know.
that, and I
You were
go, and then the
kicking and
first things.
screaming.
All right, I said this before I went. I said, all right, I know y'all are BS out there, and before I get to your office, because the person we're going to go, I remember, which was Shem, was 20 years ago now. And I say, well, okay, hear this, yeah. Here's what I send you. So one, by the time I get to you, you will know that I send you something. So when you talk to me, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the first things he said to me, he said, I see you telepathic. I was like, damn it. I was, I was like, it's never some things that because of what I've experienced when I was a kid, I didn't really enjoy that, and I was being told to work on it, and I'm very lazy when it comes to these things.
You're not lazy. You're resistant, babe. You're
Huh?
not lazy.
I'm what?
You're not lazy.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Okay, but I'm just saying that basically, yeah. So I do have these abilities, but then again, Darius says now, and you've seen in many places where it's mentioned that basically these abilities that everyone has, and you can develop them. That is it. So what now as far as it's funny you mentioned aura. I'm putting some things right now, a training that I am doing myself to read auras. I'm putting it together for our coffee shop. I've worked on that at the moment. I'm working on that, and I'm intending to develop that for myself as well. So these are the things I've been told that I have to pursue and just expand.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But telepathy is something we use openly in the house with the children, with each other. If I want some water or if I want something and he's downstairs and upstairs, I'll just be like, be really nice to have some water.
Yeah, it
and
happens
then
all the
he'll
time.
bring me water
Yeah.
or simple stuff we take for granted. But yeah, telepathy is something that we both have the ability with. Psychic, I still don't know what it means because the terminology between psychic and mediumship is still very like confusing to me. It's as if it's been used and I don't know what it is. If it means fortune telling, I would say no. But if you ask me if I have the ability to see into people's situations as like see what the conclusion will be or see what a potential conclusion could be as far as enabling them to empower themselves, yeah, I could do that. And as for the aura stuff, Omondi wants to make that available for everybody so that it's something that we can all develop because it's a lot like Caesar's mind sight. It's an ability that we all have, and it's just about awakening yourself to that training. And if you are interested in it, Brandon, Cash does that. Like Cash will be able to read auras and stuff like that. Like he sees into all of that.
So
like right now, if you want that service right now, Cash, go contact Cash.
So as far as hearing voices and like you hearing me when you talk to me, or I hear you when if you talk to me, these are the things I used to hear all the time when I was a kid. That was a big part of my life, which, like I said, I pushed it down. Now, however, now I'm a bit more open. Although part of me is like because it's all about also be comfortable with it. So I don't want to like randomly do some things. I'm starting stuff and I just have not to convey a message. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to just have to do that. And it's part of it where, because, you know, there's a comfort to just do your things and don't have to concern yourself with other things, if you know what I mean. So I do admit that for me, I'm in a comfortable space here. And for now, just so no. But what's happening now? I do hear voices now and again during the day, throughout the day. That can happen, but it's related to my family members. So
He's still
that's
pushing it down, guys. What do you want to say? All right,
yeah,
I'm done
no, but
teasing you now.
come
All
on,
right.
man.
So Uliana's saying, sorry, I didn't understand very well the relationship of ADHD and the OBEs. All right, so the ADHD, sometimes during the day, yeah, so sometimes during the day, you can experience what people could perceive as you losing interest or drifting, like they're having a conversation with you and your attention seems to be gone, or they seem to be like lights on and no one's home, like you could tell their attention's drifted somewhere. A
Mm,
lot of the time, that's a form of them doing a travel, whether it be what you could call a deeper version of daydreaming. That's how it feels like in my body. Um, but you're basically, your soul is elsewhere. Your soul is elsewhere doing other things because in the moment you've already moved on. And on a soul level, you're pretty much tapped in and trying to do that next thing. And it comes across as rude sometimes for people, or you're not paying attention when really you've already absorbed the situation at hand, you've done enough with it, and now you're moving on. And socially, it doesn't always hit right because it seems like you're being rude, but um, it's not. So I was
yeah.
asking if drifting is something you do, to be aware of one, that you're drifting, and also feel into where it is you're drifting, because that's where you're building your next step, like your next step in your reality now. So
Um,
yeah.
I'm gonna say something, Brandon, real quick. My intuition though is on 1,000, and what I get often, and it's not to for people to neglect, is shivers. I constantly get shivers. So one of the things going on, shivers all over the place. I just got one now, so I'm just telling you that some things I do get
Yeah.
constantly.
um
So your body has the ability to let you know things.
that was what we also mentioned with Bless. So a lot of us right now, especially in this group, will be going through activations. Some of those activations that you can expect, guys, are some of the clears. Okay, 4 of them coming through will be around clear audience, which is being able to hear stuff. You either hear a voice, you either hear, even if it starts off with like, I swear I heard my kid, or I swear I heard my partner. And then when you ask them, they say no, they didn't, or even a pet. But you're like, okay, you're starting to hear into what people would say is the future, but you're actually hearing into an existing timeline.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So it's that blurring of timelines. Okay. And then you have also clear cognizance, which is a knowing, like, wow, I just have this gut feeling like I know I'm supposed to be here, or I know I'm supposed to do this thing, or I know I'm supposed to call this person. That coming on board when they present themselves in simple ways that we take for granted, you are to look into it and you are not to shrug them off. For lack of a better term, don't cunt yourself off. Don't be like, oh, okay, that was nothing, or whatever. What's that? That's what
Mm.
these things are.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
The third one is clear sentient, which is what Amondi's talking about. It's the feelings, whether or not you get a little bit heady when you're around certain people, or you get a just like a wave of tiredness, or you get a little bit lethargic when you're doing certain things, or you get the shivers, or the incessant need to burp or sneeze. It's different for different people, but start looking into the patterns that your body is trying to say and speak to you at a certain time, because these are the patterns where you're getting your telltale signs. That is you tapping into your dormant abilities, and do not shrug them off
Yeah. Don't.
because they are coming in hard and fast.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one is your telepathy. And that can be in many different ways. So, something as simple as you get a phone call from a friend that yesterday you were like, all yesterday I was thinking about you, and today you called. That's what it is. Like, we can try and make it out to be this big grandiose thing, but it's just not. This is going to be our regular lives, folks. So really look into it. How many times has that happened to any of you? We are like, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you all yesterday, you called. Or I was just thinking about you and you called my phone.
Mm.
That's telepathy.
I'm going to mention something. It's really important. But
Don't make it more special.
well, yeah. Well, I'm going to mention something. It's really important. Okay. Telepathy, you just know. You don't necessarily hear a voice. Okay. So just in case for the ones who don't know that, you just know what's being said. And then you can tap in, like Shem said, in the future timeline. That happens to us all the time. Sometimes I say, oh, you said da 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 da. And she say, no, I didn't say that. And then like, um, what was the over this? Whether you didn't say it, you said it, but you didn't say it at the time I was
I
saying
didn't
it.
say it out loud.
And I was bugging. I was bugging her. And she said, no, but it was not that. And so it brings a lot of confusion, but I wasn't acknowledging that I telepathically tapped into that, whatever was said in the ether, so to speak.
I
But
hadn't said it out aloud yet.
oh yeah, that's what it was. And I was bugging her. I said, no, you said it. And I was swearing down, and then not swearing like swear, but like I was like,
You
I
were
swear
like,
you said that.
and I said, no, I
And then no,
didn't.
I heard it and all of that. I was doing all of that stuff. So now I've learned to calm down a bit because it can but what I'm saying is, okay, now there is also the voice you hear that's different. Whereas it's gonna be from a being, could be from a being or your higher self, or but you hear like I talk to you, you hear the voice. That used to happen to me when I was a kid constantly. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in tune with it. It's great if you can be, but let's not glamorize anything because for me, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun because you're not gonna just hear you higher self, or you're gonna hear everything else.
You might
So
hear chitter chatter, is what he's saying.
So what I'm saying is, and that's like can create quite a lot of discomfort for if you're not ready for that. However, none is to ignore. But all I'm saying is the telepathy is the less obvious. This is why sometimes people trying to question it as it is it real? Yeah, but it is real. It is really real. Well, it is three things you can do to confirm it. Obviously, many people out there already have exercises to do that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. And this is also why the four are coming on. Like he said, sometimes it's like you use them in conjunction with one another. So you might think you heard someone saying something, and then you'd be like, are you thinking about that? But you'd need the two. You would need that inner knowing, that clear cognizance, and you would need that telepathy. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of them work in conjunction with one another. So it's not to fob any of them off. Do not belittle yourself when you're going through these experiences. Just acknowledge them, integrate them, and move on. But say, I know that this is that, and then move on. Oh, that's telepathy. Oh, that's clear cognizance. Oh, I just got a shiver. Like someone said some bullshit to you, and you're like, oh, no, that's a no. So you just use your clear sentient and you just use your clear cognizance.
And then
And it's as simple as that, folks.
yeah,
It really is. But this is what we're asked to tune into right now, because these are the things, these are the activations that are happening. And I say, especially in this group of people, like, look what we're doing on a Sunday. Come on.
yeah.
Come
Also,
on.
there's another thing as well, is to begin to learn how to decipher between some things that you personally feeling and somebody else's field where you tapped into the field, sometimes intentionally, but sometimes it's not always you're gonna tap into someone's field and you wanted to do that. So it can happen that you were not aware of it and this thing come up. So that's to learn how to differentiate when it's you or somebody else. So all these things important as well, because it can get you to act up. Like I've been having situation where I'm just acting up, like I'm just acting crazy for all of a sudden. But that's because I'm feeling so many other things. So when you start having more of a control over these, then you'll improve your life because you're able to remain more balanced.
Sometimes those feelings that you feel are not yours.
Yeah.
Someone today, I know that you probably hear on the news some marching going on in England, which I heard about from my neighbor, but over here, we as we were walking back from Aldi, somebody shouted out the window some slur, some slur,
Mm.
yeah, just whatever. And me and Mondi are chatting big time, and he's laughing. He didn't hear it. He's a Frenchman, like he's not tapped in and tuned in to any old English slur. Like he ain't got time
No,
for
I
that.
knew it
He was
was,
locked
but I
in.
was just like,
You didn't give
whatever.
a shit. He's
Yeah.
locked into whatever conversation he's had in. But me, with my English ear, I can't help but pick up
Mm.
the whole essence around. But when people say these things and do these things, you're not only hearing them, you're hearing their field. And
Mm.
sometimes when you feel triggered by someone, it's not because you actually took what they said personally. You're feeling into what it is their emotion behind what they're saying is. So the guy drives past and he says, deport them. Yeah. Now, I felt immediately everything he feels. He feels powerless. He feels scared. He feels desperate. He feels hopeless. And that whole wave of feeling that I felt, I realized I was not offended. I was born here. I ain't going nowhere. And if he wants to deport me, Bahamas, please. And you can pay down for my whole family to move, and I will go. But until then, shut the fuck up. But lovingly, he's scared. And
Yeah.
that's what I really heard because I felt it in my body. And sometimes as well, these are the things that are going to guide your discernment to whether or not you can launch forward and take actual offense. Is it really offense you're taking, or are you not feeling into what these words are meaning for that person? You see what I mean? So when they say something, yeah, you're hearing it, but first think about it. If you're triggered, it's because you're feeling into the emotion of what they are saying, whether or not it's meant for you.
Yeah.
And these are the times which allow you to be able to build up your field and knowing how far you're going to allow your net to fly, because sometimes you pick up shit that does not belong to you for the day. So be aware of that as well. You know, what
Yeah.
emotions are you picking up from people around you? It could be simple supermarket person you go past and you're like, why am I feeling a little bit? It's not yours. Leave it where it is.
Also, another thing I'm going to say for the intuition, why it's absolutely important. I'm going to give you two examples. When something's taking place for me and then I really don't like it, I really can act very rogue, like very rogue, like I'm rich, like getting all over the place, and then very resistant to do things. And I'm just saying that if any of you have a dog or had a dog or had experienced a dog, when your dog is scared to go somewhere and you personally don't see why they're scared about it, you're trying to pull them and they're resisting and they're tugging on that leash because they don't want to go there. That's exactly how intuition is. You know, while maybe many of others won't know. And that's that feeling. You can see it. I've seen it so many times and I felt it myself. Everything in you is telling you not, or telling you to go, wherever that is. And it's like it can be a lifesaver. Like it's really, really important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've had instances where it's literally like, well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
good you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So we have someone else, Makisha.
Hi, Mokisha.
Hiya. Hope we're saying your name right. So, hi, as a child, I naturally had lucid dreams and loved the dream world. I believed that I would leave my body, but I'm not sure. I would also sleepwalk. So, how do I get back to lucid dreaming? Okay, so if you did it once before, you could do it again. So, that's a great way to know that it can happen for you. The mere fact that you want to go back now is probably because you're ready. Sleepwalking, that's a Mondi specialization. And as far as somebody who can help with a lot of techniques into lucid dreaming. There's a guy on YouTube called Daniel Love, and he is like a lucid dream specialist. He has a ton of techniques that can help. And if you just go, and the videos aren't long, so if you just go through them and find which one works for you, there's actually one method I'll be trying soon, which is the torch method. You can you can find your way through what might work for you the best. And if you go on our Ko-fi, I actually have like a lucid dream pack where it's just a list of things you could take, methods you could do, teas that help with it, vitamins that help with it, different things like that. Not medical advice, I'll tell you right now, but just a list of things that I've gathered along the way and that the group has also shared with us.
So, Makisha, I'm going to say one thing as well. Look into why you stopped. Trying to find out what happened that just made it stop. And the answer is probably there. Just look into that.
Yeah.
Because anything you love doing, there's no reason for it to stop. But there's obviously some things on some level, trying to see what age you were, if you started going to middle school, whatever, I don't know, whatever may have taken place, and trying to work your way back from there.
Yeah. So Blessed is talking to Shelby saying, it's a miss. Yeah, with the link between you and your girls is clearly a mystery for you three to unravel. But
Your
there's
Trinity.
definitely, there's a Trinity link there.
Yeah.
But that's definitely on a soul agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Juliana says, I've come to a conclusion that our ADHD is a superpower.
Yeah. You know what? You have
Yes.
you have ADHD because your body is too small for your soul. That's what it is. So much limitation.
Sometimes it's just like,
yeah, your soul is just like,
for lack of a better term. That's the technical term.
Like, Diana, yes. You're saying never been on meds for it or anything, but it is literally a superpower if you know how to manage it. Yeah, 100%.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And when I see some people actually have come to me not knowing who I am or what I do or anything like that and said, oh, my kid has it, and said to me their kid has it.
Yeah.
And then that just confessed, well, I'm just keeping them at home and I'm just going to figure it out, but I'm not putting them on meds. And I've just been like, yep.
Yeah, no.
So it's like on a soul level, we know.
Yeah, it pushed meds. I was on meds for what I was going through anyway, and then it pushed down all your abilities anyway, because these companies, they give you meds. The last things they want you to do, it's to have
online
to have superpowers.
Yeah. So Azib said, yes, you did.
Okay,
Azib,
great. Great. Diana, yeah. All right,
yeah. Brandon is saying, what do you guys think of Bashar, the guy who channels an alien? He's on YouTube. Thoughts on him? Daryl Ankar. Yeah. We've seen some of his stuff. I resonate a lot with some of his basic terms, especially the older stuff that he does. But the newer bits, I found that I use my clear cognizance, and somehow it just doesn't resonate right now. I feel like maybe his contact with Bashar or his agreement with Bashar has already come to an end. And right now he just seems to be, we seem to be getting just Daryl talking from his own wisdom. And that's fine as well, because it's not like he's sitting there and saying anything hateful or anything that doesn't make sense. But I feel like maybe his time with Bashar is like not there anymore, not what it used to be. And that's nothing to do with what he's spoken about. I know there was a lot of hoo-ha about what he said politically, but, I've got no skin in the game when it comes to that. So it's really not from that point of view. But I do think that a lot of what Bashar says or has said in the past has been helpful to my journey, especially about when it comes to just a simple aligning yourself and going for your highest excitement in the moment, especially when it comes to relinquishing control or understanding the idea of permission slips, things that we tell ourselves we need to validate, signs in our own life and synchronicities.
And blessed as well just answered as well by saying, overall advice for channeled material. If it feels right to you, then hold on to that knowledge. If it feels off, then let it go. The channel being isn't infallible. Channeling can cause distortions. Yeah, depending of the actual receiver. That's gonna also have to lot to see of
Yeah,
about what they believe are and what they hold on to.
100%. What he said.
Um,
Because that's just it, guys. And that's the whole thing about channeling. And you can channel too. And I think that right now, because a lot of us have been exposed to channels over the years, once you start watching enough of them, you can start building up your discernment as to how things resonate with you, or if they feel a little bit off, or if that person's having an off day. I mean, what's another channeler we listen to as well sometimes, or we have listened to? Tara Arnold.
Arnold, what's his
She has
name?
some useful stuff.
The guy that is channeling Adam is what's his name again?
Calgary, something or the other. But
Yeah, but
it's
he's really
Adamus
good
Saint
when it comes
Germain.
to practice, like in you inner body experience. Is excellent.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
really really
Crimson
good.
Circle.
Um,
And who else as well?
Ab-
Esther Hicks.
yeah, Abraham Hicks.
Abraham Hicks.
Abraham Hicks. Yeah,
That. So,
yeah,
and also for someone who's a bit newer age as well, Erin Lyons,
yeah.
she
She's
does
doing
some
great
stuff as well.
stuff
She
as
does some
well.
great stuff
Yeah,
as well, especially
yeah,
around
absolutely,
abundance,
100%.
especially around feminine energy. And for the galactics, anyone who resonates with the galactic terms or star seeds or anything like that, she's really great with that as well.
But I would say this, guys. I say your intuition is everything because even when it comes down to these people doing what they're doing, they're not.
Like what
They're
Bless says, they're not
infallible.
infallible,
Yeah. So
and that's okay.
yeah,
But just take what you need and
yeah,
leave the rest.
yeah. But I think learning how to get in touch with your higher self and you already are, but acknowledge it and expanding this is very important.
Oh wow, those numbers. Oh, oh, come on. Oh, come on.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at
12,
those numbers,
12,
Shelby.
12. What?
Hang on. It's 1210 you and then the others, the girls.
Oh, wow.
And in what order? If you just give me the names like in order, is it you, Tia, Haley? Is that the numbers I'm seeing?